Hey there, Whitney here. Today I have a podcast episode that's very targeted and focused to those of you who are probably getting started in your business, or maybe you've been running your business for a little bit, but you don't have this critical thing that you need to have, which is a professional email. Now, it's okay if you don't have one. We're going to talk through how to do it today. I know when I was starting my business, I was a little confused. So that is why I am recording this to hopefully demystify the process. There are some technical aspects involved, I'm not going to lie, but you only have to do it once, and there are much easier solutions out there than there have been in the past to hopefully make this very simple for you to do. First off, what is this? What is a professional email? So this is an email that is using your domain name. So like my domain is whitneybateson.com, and one of the emails that I've set up, the first one that I set up was whitney@whitneybateson.com. That's my email. So I started my business with a Gmail email, whitney.bateson@gmail.com, but I quickly realized I really needed a professional email. So why do we need this? Well, for one thing, it's more credible. It is just showing that you're not using a free email service, Yahoo, Gmail, Hotmail, all of those. Those are all free platforms. They just don't really give a very credible professional look. And then even more importantly, possibly, is that you need a domain email address for most email marketing platforms. So MailChimp, ConvertKit, they are going to be asking you to actually verify your domain so that you can send emails. A lot of the platforms have lately cracked down on using Gmail or other emails to send emails from an email marketing perspective, and you just can't do it anymore. So this is an important thing to do. And this is just going to allow you to add more people to your organization more easily, in my opinion. So as opposed to setting up Gmail accounts for any contractors or people that you're bringing into your business, you can set up a professional email for them instead. And then if they ever move on or leave, or you need to cut ties with them, you have ultimate control. You can get into their email, you can change the password, you can log them out of prior sessions. So it's just a security thing. So a few things to know as we dive into this here. First, you do need to have your domain. You need to purchase your domain first. If you don't have one, I would suggest doing that first. So you can purchase them from a variety of places. We used to recommend Google domains just because they were easy to work with and they allowed us to be added as a collaborator on the account because we need to have that access when we're helping people set up websites. But Google Domains was recently purchased by Squarespace. So that's still fine if you want to buy a domain from Squarespace. It's not the same as putting your website on Squarespace. So Squarespace is going to sell you a domain that's going to be separate than actually doing a website on Squarespace. So that's fine if you want to purchase your domain from Squarespace. GoDaddy is okay too. We generally don't really enjoy the customer support on GoDaddy, so I would recommend just go with a Squarespace domain. You can also purchase your domain. Like I purchased mine. I've purchased all of mine from SiteGround because that's where my website hosting is. But if you are working with us and going on our hosting, then you're probably not going to be setting up your own SiteGround account. So I would just go with the Squarespace one. And really where you buy your domain doesn't have as much bearing on things as hosting decisions. And like I said, if you work with us in our website program, you can go on our hosting and then you don't have to worry about it. Now, when it comes to your domain, you are going to need to log into your domain to set up your branded email. So you do need to know where you purchased your domain from. So Squarespace, I will also say, offers you to buy Google Workspace from them, which is going to be the platform that I recommend for doing this professional email. So if you are already a customer because you bought their domain service, you may consider getting Google Workspace from them because I think they may automatically connect your email and Google Workspace account to your domain. So it's just one less step for you. That's cool. And I'm not sure if the price is higher with them, maybe the same. And then you just have more things under one roof. But otherwise, you can totally buy your Google Workspace subscription straight from Google Workspace. That's what I did. Now, a few words of caution. Some domain and website hosts will offer free email. Do not take the bait. I do not recommend this because it's just really clunky to get that free email from them. Yes, it is technically connected to your domain. So you do get that professional email, but let me just kind of lay it out for you. So if you've been using Gmail, you're familiar with how nice the email inbox experience is. So the emails get filtered into these little folders and you can do all sorts of things. Or if you have a job, or even if you've purchased Outlook for yourself, Outlook and Microsoft, that's another one. So Gmail and Outlook, those are typically called email clients. So email client software. It's a software application that you use to access, manage, and send emails. So it allows you to view and organize your email messages, set up your email signature, all of that. If you go with the free email from your domain or website host, you are generally going to have to use some no-name email client. It's not going to be as good a user experience as these more advanced email client softwares out there, like what you get from Google and Gmail, because if you sign up for Google Workspace, your inbox is going to look exactly like a Gmail inbox. So I think that is really nice if you've been using Gmail and you're used to it, or if you worked at a company and you really liked Outlook and you want to use that as you are starting your business, you can certainly use Microsoft Outlook as well and purchase your professional email from Outlook. I'm not going to talk through that process today because that's just not what I did, but that is totally fine as well. I used Google Workspace. And another thing to keep in mind, again, I know that as you're starting your business, you may not be thinking about hiring people, but I had a couple episodes ago about hiring, even if you're not hiring full-time people. I don't have any full-time employees right now. I have contractors, but I still add those contractors to my system so that they can have a professional email so that when they interact with clients, the clients get that feeling that they are working for me, they're all part of my team, and it's a good thing, and also for security. Now, if you were using one of these free emails from your domain or website host and you had to use this really clunky email client that's not easy to use, if you were to add people to your team, they would need to use that clunky email client as well. So I just don't like it. I really just think using one of these other platforms is going to be a better experience for you. It's going to be a better experience for your team, and it's going to allow you to more easily scale. And I always like thinking about what is your business going to be looking like and needing in the next 1 to 5 years. So that's why I also talk about how WordPress is a good platform for your website as opposed to starting on Squarespace or Wix or Weebly, where those can't scale in a year, 2 years, 5 years down the road when you want to do some different things. So I like to kind of be thinking with, okay, where are we going to be going and what are we going to be needing? You can't always anticipate everything, but I think it's fair to say that you're probably going to add some people to your team, even on a contract part-time basis. And you want to be having that ability to easily scale and not have setting up an email account for someone be the thing that holds you back from adding them to your team. All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox about that. So Google Workspace, like I mentioned, is what I use and what I recommend. Microsoft Outlook is also perfectly fine, but I'm going to speak about Google Workspace. It used to be called G Suite. So to sign up, you're just going to go to the Google Workspace website, just Google it. Just like workspace.google or something.com. And you're going to just go through the steps. You're going to select that you want a your-company.com address. So that's your domain, this setting up your email to use your domain. Now, if you don't have your domain purchased yet, it does allow you to purchase it as part of your sign-up process. But I'll just say sometimes we found that it's hard to share access to the domain settings when it's so closely tied with your Workspace account. I'm not sure exactly why we've had that issue with some clients where they just can't do that like collaborator access that we've been able to more easily do when someone purchased through Google Domains or now Squarespace. So I would just say buy your domain first from some of the platforms that I mentioned. And then during your sign up process, you're just going to say that you already have one. So there's that. And then you're going to purchase your plan and it's going to guide you through the setup. And now the big thing that can feel confusing to folks is connecting the email to your domain, because just because you buy that subscription and say, okay, it's going to be using this domain, it doesn't mean it's working yet. But I just want to explain what you need to do to keep it pretty simple. So Google is going to give you a code to copy. And then you're going to add that code to your domain settings. So if you purchase your domain from Squarespace, you're going to take the code that Google gives you and go over to Squarespace and put that in. Now, every domain registrar is different in terms of how to get to those settings for where to add that code. And that code is called your MX record, for mail record. So you can do a few things. You can, if you're not really sure how to do this, you can Google it. Google how to add it, like how to add MX record to Squarespace domains or GoDaddy domain. So whatever your domain provider is, you can Google how to add the record, and they're probably going to have a help article. You can also see if Google Workspace has a help article about this specific to your domain provider. That's why I also think it's a good idea to go with like a larger, more well-known domain provider, because generally speaking, the places like Google Workspace are going to be familiar with working with those domain registrars or hosts versus a really like random one. And like I said, there's really not a whole lot of importance about where you purchase your domain from. You just want it to be a place that you find easy to use and access their backend, their admin, so that you can update settings. And I would probably say like that has good customer support and again is just kind of more well known. You can also contact your domain registrar and ask them how to add the MX records. Google Workspace is a very common platform that a lot of business owners use for their email. So it's not going to be something that they've never heard of before if you're like, I need to connect my Google Workspace to my domain. So then you're going to be good to go. I am like skipping some steps, but it is just something you're going to have to go through. You're going to get that code added to your email and then just continue to follow the guidance from Google Workspace to get everything set up. And then what's going to happen is then you can log into mail.google.com with your branded email account, and you're going to have your inbox there. You're also going to have Google Drive access, and you're just going to basically have this new Google account that you can use across the web for a variety of different things. And then as you add team members, you can just add them on to your account. And if you ever end up leaving, if they ever end up leaving, you can close their account, which is just really good for security. And the cost on this is between $6 and $7 a month. So it's not outrageous. I think it's good for as you're getting started and growing in your business. Another thing though that you can do is that you can add alias emails to your account. So for example, during our launches, I have an email address that is info@whitneybateson.com. And that actually just emails me directly. Or for our podcast, I could have podcast@whitneybateson.com and have that go to me or a team member. So it's no extra cost to add that alias email. It's not setting up a whole new Google account. It's just an email address that people can use to email me, and it's going to either go to me, or if I have another team member I want it to go to, I can do that. So just some flexible things like that you can add and use in your business can be really helpful. So setting up your professional email is something that you should consider doing early on in your business, because as I said, you're going to need it to set up your email marketing software like MailChimp or ConvertKit. And you're going to be adding it to your website and handouts, and you're going to be emailing people from it. So I just really think it's better to do it now in the beginning. Like I said, it's $6 to $7 a month per user. So when you're getting started, it's a fairly low cost. You're probably just going to be you for a little while. And then as you add people to your business, hopefully you'll be growing and that cost isn't, out of the question. And really, it's just one of those systems that you want to have set up as your business picks up, because you already have it in place and it's professional and it's working for you, versus trying to do some free workarounds that are just not going to scale or going to be harder to move away from in the future. Because if you do set up your email on one of these free platforms, and you do then want to do Google in the future, or Google Workspace, you may have to migrate your email, and that can just be like a whole thing. So just like start on the right foot as soon as you can. So now that you have your domain and your email address, it's time to create your website. So if you don't have that yet, or you need your website to also be more professional and ready to support you and your business as you grow, make sure you check out our program, the Wellness Pro Website System, where we give you the tools and the templates and the tech support to get a beautiful, customized WordPress website online for your business in a matter of weeks. So you don't have to deal with all the tech questions and confusion about setting up a website. We have you covered, but then at the end, you have this really professional place where you can send people to. It represents your business. You even get coaching from me throughout in terms of how to describe your services, how to lay them out on your website. So it's much more than just like a tech program. We are also talking business strategy. We go over branding, go over copywriting, email marketing, really everything you need to have this online home for your business. It's really working for you and helping you grow and scale. So you can go to wellnessprowebsite.com to learn more about it. And I hope that this was really helpful today, gave you some tips so you can go forward and get that professional email for your business. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.